Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary friends, welcome to another episode of the Three Speech Podcast. It's me, Mr. Darius Davies, the Ayatollah of rock and roller, mad lad of jihad, coming to you from parts unknown. As ever, I'm joined by the Bajan sensation himself,
Dipset Bird Gang,
Mr. Hate Speech,
Zip zap zippity,
and our producer extraordinaire, the Vanilla Gorilla.
Your face is in my way.
Mooch.
Hello.
Wow. What a week it's been this week, as ever, in the world that we live in.
what is he doing?
I don't know. Is he having a stroke online?
Yeah.
Is he dying?
The worst Zoom call to an elderly relative I've ever seen.
Can you don't talk
Jesus.
over each other, please?
Oh, no, don't talk over it in case we miss this call, Darius.
It looks like he's wearing a mask. If you look on the thing,
Yeah.
it looks like we're wearing a mask. with
Yeah,
the thing.
it's pro mask.
If I speak like this, is it
You
still
look-
sound good?
You look like a hostage.
He's taking himself hostage.
Yeah.
Does it sound good
In
if I
his own
speak like
basement.
this?
That bit he's in is I've been to his house. That bit he's in, I'm not joking. It's like that big. He's got some sort of lens that makes it look like he's in a room, but he's literally under the stairs, like Harry Potter.
That's where he keeps the bodies.
Rubbing your rapids, bro.
Listen, if I put the mic here, does it still sound all right?
Yeah.
It sounds
It
just
still
as
sounds
terrible.
weak though. It sounds weak and watered down.
That's his
Sounds
voice.
high pitched
How
and
can
whiny. Have
how
you got
can
a
it
different
sound
voice?
How can it sound weak and white? This is this Rode MB mic shit.
This is unacceptable.
We got a new soundboard sound,
Yeah.
courtesy of Dr. Shola.
Is that going to give us a copyright strike?
No, I don't think you can't copyright just like words. Actually, you can, but they have to be in song format. Intro the pod and let's get going.
Okay.
I thought.
And-
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we
I thought
introed
we
it.
already
Wow, another
So
well-oiled machine. Should we
Okay.
should we go into one of the stories?
did. Yeah, Leo, what's been happening this week?
Well, you've got access to the document. but,
Okay, well, I'll do an intro then, because I was going to.
well, no, we've done an intro. Now
I'm
we're
not
going to
gonna
go through the stories. We've done
Yeah,
a
but I'm gonna-
perfectly good intro. We're not going to
Yeah, but
fucking
doing an
recreate
intro,
that magic.
I'm gonna say what's happening this week and what's interested, and then I'm gonna let you guys speak.
We can just say it. I'll tell you. Prince
All right,
Andrew,
go on then.
It's a free man.
he's a free. He's been found. He's been completely exonerated,
What has he?
completely and utterly exonerated of all
unacceptable,
charges.
When did this happen?
They checked his hymen. He's still a virgin, so he couldn't have possibly done it.
He can start sweating again. It's literally breaking news. The lady who has accused him has accepted some bung money.
Well, he's
or pressure, I imagine as well.
Yeah,
paid her out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
I
they've
don't-
settled it out of court apparently.
a donation to a charity of her choice.
So that means he's guilty then.
No, whoa,
think-
whoa! Nico wants to get sued by the Queen's lawyers, which actually worked out all right for Darius.
Yeah. and guess who didn't settle with the Queen's lawyers?
Yeah, Darius has got more moral backbone than Prince Andrew. Who'd have thought it?
No, not the
No,
Prince
no,
Andrew.
Virginia
then his
Virginia
victim,
Giuffre.
alleged victim.
Giuffre,
That's right.
Giuffre.
But isn't this the second time she's been paid off?
So there was the one against Jeffrey Epstein, and so she got like, I can't remember how much it was, but it was like pretty serious.
So the
money,
Prince
bunch of them.
Andrew money isn't going to her. It's going to a charity.
That's
No,
what I
no.
read, but man, she must be getting some, because her whole thing was like, I want to clear my name. I've been called all these things, and you did a bad thing, or several bad things, and so she wanted her time in court to make her case, and so she must be getting paid off. They're saying a charity of her choice, but charities these days just seem to be a way of getting money and keeping it.
Well, like the Gates Foundation.
Yeah, or Patrice Couleurs with the Black Lives Matter money. So $60 million of Black Lives Matter money has just like disappeared, and all the top brass at Black Lives Matter have stood down from the charity and bought luxury villas. So I think that might be where the money went.
The sum of the settlement has not been disclosed, but the Duke will make a, quote, substantial donation to Giuffre's charity in support of victims' rights. He has also pledged to, quote, demonstrate his regret for his association with Epstein by supporting the fight against the evils of sex trafficking and by supporting its victim. You will note, listeners, he does not regret his actual pedophilia or sexual abuse.
So what's he's gonna work to prevent sex trafficking by stopping noncing. Is that his?
Hey, it's
No,
a
no,
start.
he hasn't. No, he hasn't agreed to that. He's just said he's
He's gonna stop other people doing it.
He's going to
Wait,
fight
no.
other people.
number
Noncing.
one, the number one nonce, alleged nonce. We're only alleged and speculating.
You've called him a nonce like about 7 times. You can't just then suddenly say alleged once.
Should we just call this
Yeah,
the
I
alleged
allege
podcast?
that he's a nonce. He's a nonce.
A
I
notch.
don't even know what. Do you know where the word? Do you know where the word nonce comes from?
No, Alistair Beckett King had a bit about it, I think.
No, it means like something like not allowed to be with the other inmates in the prison, and that's where
An
it came from.
N-A-T.
I'm gonna
B.
Google it.
And that bit-
It's not a normal criminal element.
Not a normal criminal element.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No,
Not
it's not.
of normal criminal element. Sex offender reference.
And Alistair Beckett King had a funny bit about how the word nonce, also in like medieval English, it meant like once. So you'd say just the nonce.
Just the nonce.
Just the nonce.
Just
but
the Prince Andrew.
it's not used that way anymore. Apparently Prince Andrew's poor now. He's like burnt through all his money.
I think he'll
Well-
be okay.
They
Yeah,
say,
wasn't he excommunicated?
Yeah, basically. He's,
Can he become a royal again now, or now that he's innocent completely?
now he's been exonerated.
Is he welcome back to the royal family with open arms?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, they've welcomed worse people.
How long do you think the royal family are going to last?
I think they'll continue indefinitely. I think Prince Charles isn't unpopular, and
What? Really?
yeah, he's not that unpopular. And thing is, we're going through a period of accelerating cultural and social change, so people want some continuity.
Decline.
Yeah, decline. I'd agree with that. I mean, I'm reading a lot of Douglas Murray right now, but so I'm obviously skewed. But yeah, I'd agree with that. We're in cultural decline.
man, I hate the
the
Queen,
fall of
and I
Rome.
hate the royal. And I hate.
Why
the
do you hate
royal
the Queen so
family.
much?
Because listen, if we're in a society that strives to say, "Oh, everyone's equal, we're all the same, no one's better than the others," how can you justify having a royal family say, "Oh, we're all equal, but they're got divinity from God and they are better than you, and for that reason they get to live in a castle"? I would be happy with the royal family if they were willing to keep it by fight, by challenge, like in the old days. Like you kill the king, you come the king. Well, then that's fair enough, man. I'll kill the queen straight away.
You still do, but you got to kill the king, Darius.
Yeah, but
And
if
you're
you
too
kill
chicken.
the queen now, you go to prison. They don't just make
No,
you the king.
you need an army. You need an army that can defeat the Queen's army.
It should be a lottery system.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody, every 4 years,
you imagine
play
the-
a lottery, and a family gets to be the royal family.
But what-
That would be great.
Can you imagine the lotto lout as fucking
Yeah.
king? That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Just him just fucking rolling around the countryside.
Yeah, driving his Jaguars around Buckingham Palace. He was great, man. He got like 16 million or something. He just blew the whole lot, and now he's back to like working on the bins or something.
Yeah, Dustin
just-
man in Glasgow. He don't care.
Yeah.
He just-
Did you see that Rick Ross video
No.
that I posted the other day?
No.
He's walking around his mansion with a flamethrower.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
It's hilarious.
Can we put it up in the thing?
Yeah, if you pop it into the group, or maybe I'll just I'll Google it.
This is a bit that Vittorio
Won't edit.
won't edit out, but just
We're
on
not
behalf
paying
of
him
the,
this week, are we?
Just on behalf of the listeners, I wish Vittorio had edited this boring bit out as well. While people are looking for videos, it's not great content. Oh, here we go. What the?
Yeah, play that.
Jesus!
I need to make that.
How old's Rick Ross now? He's firing at his wife.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's
the right
walking
thing to
around.
do.
Who want a problem? Who want a problem?
Do you reckon he's going to get broken into?
He's not really going for it.
Yeah, but that's the
You
sort
know-
of thing that could get out of hand quite quickly.
You know the only army who used flamethrowers?
Aliens.
What army?
The Nazis.
American.
And
Nazis.
the Nazis and the Americans.
Why just them and why not other armies?
I don't know, because I just played
Because
Call of Duty
it's not
and
that great a weapon, really.
It makes you really vulnerable because you've got this huge tank
of liquid
flammable.
gas.
You got a bomb in your back.
Yeah.
And it runs out quite quickly. It doesn't have much range.
Yeah, it's only good against aliens and jungle warfare, I imagine.
And somebody within it's sort of 10 feet, 15 feet, who, you can cover them in burning
There was
stuff.
a video game that it was really good on though. Was that
Doom.
Duke Nukem?
Duke Nukem.
Nukem.
I came
Yeah.
here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
No.
Was that him? Or no, was that Duke Nukem or was that Doom?
I came here to kick
No,
ass
that's
and
Roddy
chew
Piper.
bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper was in a film where he gets these spectacles that you can see.
They live?
Yeah, something
They
like
live.
that.
Yeah.
And you keep seeing it as like memes.
It's a brand as well. Obey.
Yeah.
They've got it
With
on
the
that.
skull. You can see the skull. And that's
I'm
what I
here
feel. That's what I feel like. It's like watching stuff like Trudeau. There's a little sieg for you, but like watching stuff like
Segue.
Trudeau. Everybody's like, oh, he's so woke. Oh, he's so look, he cares about. He doesn't like transphobes and blah blah blah. But actually, man, this guy's bringing in like authoritarian Chinese style measures.
Yeah, it's a bit mental, isn't it? He's
he's
frozen all-
hardcore fascist. That what's going on now in Canada.
Yes, the two things that are coming up now. So he's taken away banking facilities. Well, they've already had the charity thing. The money that was donated to the truckers got seized. They were going to give it to other charities, but then they decided to return it to the donors when they realised they'd get sued. But the other thing he's doing is they're bringing in legislation to freeze bank accounts and stop anybody under terrorism legislation, saying the truckers are terrorists instead of just being regular working guys with families.
I thought they were racist. Are they terrorists as well as racist?
Racist, transphobes, misogynists,
homophobic,
anti-science.
everything.
Yeah.
They don't sound nice at all.
Anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, they're anti-vaxxers, even though 85% of them have been vaxxed. And there's that. And then also he's bringing in the military. He's like bringing in these emergency powers to use the military. So we're going to have tanks rolling into Ottawa.
But this is just a glimpse into the future. Once they turn off your bank account, and he's using that as a tactic, that's the next thing he's going for. That's going to be for anything that you disagree on. They're going to be switching off your account. Like, so fall in line.
And he's trying to get get hold of the Bitcoin as well, which I don't know how he's planning on doing that.
Crypto. Like, Darius, you know about crypto. Can he do that?
Well,
Darius is a
he
crypto expert.
He shouldn't be able to. But what they can do is when you transfer the Bitcoin back into your current account to get the money, I guess that's when they can stop the money coming. They can stop you.
Well, they can stop access to the exchanges. That's what I think they'll probably do. So, similar to what they do in China, where but you can use a VPN
Or they could just shut down the servers and shit.
Aren't they hosted on oil rigs in Romania and stuff?
Yeah, like the servers might not be in Canada, or they'll be on multiple servers.
Oh yeah, because
them though.
it's decentralized.
Yes,
It's blockchain.
it is.
The thing shut down the other day, like after the Super Bowl Coinbase advert, the site crashed.
Right.
And no one could trade for a bit.
Because it was so busy.
Yeah.
They were, yeah.
There's some other site that got in trouble because it didn't have enough. It was supposed to, like, when you buy crypto on it, like, it's backed by fiat currency or gold or something like that, but they only had, 2%
Of what they were.
of what they said they had to cover it all.
Probably the Tether. There's one called the US Tether.
It was a tether coin.
Yeah.
But man, all this stuff is, I don't know, I just see it, it's such nonsense. I mean, I wish I got into it, but
Still can.
nah, because it's past its peak.
I doubt
Well,
it.
but you know what's funny
100%
is like,
past its peak.
you mentioned the advert in the Super Bowl. That Super Bowl it had every single major celebrity not wearing a mask, 70,000 people in close proximity. If you were a Canadian and you
But
were
it was
watching
outdoors.
that, but it was in
Yeah,
a
but
stadium.
it's-
Well, you know what? It was in a stadium,
what
but
they're
here's the
gonna
thing.
say.
Here's the thing. In the stadium, 70,000 people, but the next day the kids had to wear the masks in the school because it's in LA. And then also there's the flight maps of all the private jets that flew into LA and out of LA within an hour or 2 hours of the Super Bowl kicking off. And one was a 13-hour flight to back to Austria. So someone flew in for the Super Bowl, flew back, and you just know for a fact that person cares deeply about climate change and demand that you
Saying it was
lower your
Greta?
carbon footprint.
Yeah.
Saying it was Greta, Darius?
Greta is a hero and a legend to us all. You've gambled away our future. Whatever she said.
You actually sound quite like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High
You look
pitched.
like her.
Annoying.
Yeah, you look like her.
Still childlike, even though you're
Yeah.
actually quite old.
You nonced on her, Leo, and you couldn't even get a settlement.
Yeah,
agreement
she's
with
old
her.
enough now.
You did it when she was 16. I know that. 15.
At denial charges.
Well, have you settled out
settle
of
out of
court?
court.
It's the only way to do it.
I'll settle out of court with a pledge to do my recycling. I mean, I used to live in a warehouse with all these like hippies, and they'd all like separate all the rubbish and all the different recycling and stuff. But then none of them could be bothered going down to the recycle bins, and so I'd take it out. But the recycle bins were like 10 feet further away than the regular bins, so I just chucked everything in the regular bin. Saved the people at the recycling bin the hassle of chucking it in the regular bin anyway. Apparently most recycling, so Scotland was sending, there was like 1.7 billion tons of, or million tons, I don't know how many, shitloads of plastic was going from Scotland.
Just love how you were going with a figure there. There's 6.5. There's a shitload.
It was 1.7 something. It was either million or billion. Million. It would be million.
Probably a million.
Yeah, million tons from Scotland of plastic, and it was getting sent overseas. They're sending it to. They're saying they're recycling it, but they just send it to like some despotic country, like, and it just gets burnt or like plowed into the fucking fields or chucked in a ravine because like it's controlled by a corrupt regime who they just want the money from the Scottish government. So they don't give a shit about the people, so they're just burning it or whatever.
And now they just signed a deal with Canada. The funniest story about Leo's ex-flatmates is one year they came to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. They were like woke, they were proper woke hippies or whatever. And anyway, they'd come back every day and they'd complain that their rubbish show was terrible. And then one day they were like, you know what it is? It's the audience just don't get it. It's meant to be deliberately bad. And then Leo went, well, why don't you try and make it deliberately good?
That's the thing, man. That anti-comedy, like try to make stuff deliberately, but like make it deliberately good. It's much harder to make stuff deliberately good.
Yeah, that's what you struggle with.
But you can only be deliberately bad if you know how to be deliberately good first.
You can only break the rules if you can.
Talking about
make the
deliberately
rules.
bad or unknown deliberately bad, I got a threatening message from a listener this week regarding our podcast. None other than John Sharp, who said, what did he say? He said, stop talking shit about me or I will smack the shit out of Leo Kearse. So
I don't think he said that.
The
I'm gonna
exact
send the
message
goons out.
he said, please stop slagging me off on your podcast. Many thanks. Then I said, what are you talking about? We've never mentioned you on our podcast.
I think
So
we
I
have.
checked it, and we have actually mentioned him multiple times. Then he messaged
What?
me back, and he says, tell Nico he's a pussy old blood clot, and I'm going to cut him. So,
Whoa, you're going to take that, Nico?
fuck me,
You're going to take
Nico.
that from John Sharp?
Let me just.
He said, tell Nico I'm going to kick him around like a cat in Barbados. I'm going to fuck him up, G. That's what he said, Nico.
That's what he said. All right, wait till
He said it
explain
quite
that.
slowly, but he did say that.
He said it and he acted it out while standing on the chair and flapping his arms.
I've seen that bit kill. I've seen that bit absolutely kill.
I like John
once.
Sharp. I think he's funny. I think he's a good comedian. He adds flavor to the comedy scene. You need people like
Yeah,
John
he's
Sharp.
underrated. He's underrated.
He's very good at being deliberately bad.
I'm telling.
He's
I'm-
listening. He's obviously listening.
He's gonna fuck you up too now, Mooch.
Okay. No, big up, John.
Big up all the people who played the Thistle back in the day. Some real characters.
Yeah. Man,
Oh,
they didn't,
a
they
man
didn't care.
squared up to me on Sunday at Top Secret.
Serious? Were you
Yeah,
on
squared up
stage?
to me.
you
No,
come off stage?
I was off stage. I kicked him and his girl out for chatting. They wouldn't stop talking during the and he squared up to me.
Was this
Like, he
outside?
didn't even know that I've been going Muay Thai for like 3 weeks. I assumed the stance and I was ready, man.
The thing is, the
What a guy.
stance looks so stupid in real life when you're not.
What is it?
Did you,
Is it like
did you do the
Karate
whole
Kid?
praying in the four corners?
No. I just went straight into TikTok. You got a TikTok.
He got
rock.
TikToked.
Yeah.
You got rocked.
What is TikTok?
You got a bounce. Transfer the weight from the balls of the feet.
Right.
I'm so glad you said of the feet.
Yeah. But nah, he was crying out because I was telling him, this girl would not shut up. Everyone went, like Jack went to her, I went to her, and then even Duya went to her, and she's still talking, and then she
Jesus.
starts crying after I pull her out, and then the man starts flexing, and he's gonna fuck off.
How big was the guy, and was he white?
Yeah, he was a white guy,
Yeah,
or he looked
a white
he
guy.
had a slight tan to him,
Okay.
but he was stocky. He was more stocky than tall.
Did just security just ask him to leave, or?
There was no security. There was no security.
Surely
Someday they can't afford the security. There's no budget for the security.
there can't be much. Is there much trouble at Top Secret ever? I can't-
Every now and again, you get a dickhead.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, there was that time somebody threw
Through
a
a pint glass at
bottle at James.
James Leverage.
Yeah. And another time they threw something at someone else.
Yeah.
John.
What,
yeah.
a top secret? Someone threw a bottle at Loveridge.
Yeah, it was caught on camera.
Yeah, it's recorded. It went viral, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But someone else got something thrown at.
Could have been really bad if it hit him in the face.
Yeah. But yeah.
Faces and money, baby. What's the
What are
therapy
just
ad
crying?
that's in the document? What was the
Oh
therapy?
man,
good.
this thing's hilarious. So this is I'm assuming this is an advert to try and get men to go to therapy. But yeah, watch this. Watch this.
Thank you. I'm so happy. I love this place. It's so cute. Ooh, who's that?
Jacob.
Oh, Jacob from your date last night?
Yeah.
Jacob from law school?
Yes.
Jacob with the cute corgi?
Yes.
So, why are we ignoring Jacob's text?
He said he doesn't do therapy.
Oh,
Hard pass.
red flag. Doesn't do therapy.
Wow.
So I mean, am I right in thinking that advert must be aimed at men to try and get men to
trying
go to
get
therapy?
men go and talk.
But like what? So
The
go.
emasculation of society continues.
It's like go to therapy so you can go out with an annoying, judgmental woman.
Yeah.
Like
Whatever happened to carrying your mental health problems on your back?
oh, well, yeah,
I mean,
what?
back in the day.
What happened to men just shutting up about it?
and
Just
Oh,
push
it's
it down.
Serious? No, it works. It works.
Well,
But-
whatever happened to good old repression?
It works. Why do you think most countries are dictatorships? Repression works. Like honestly, I think there's been a rise in suicide in men, and it's coincided with men being urged to like, oh, you've got to talk about your feelings. Man, you don't want to take the lid off that Pandora's box. Get men talking about their feelings. Man, men should shut up about their feelings. I think that's a much better system for most men.
But that's
And
clearly
women.
an American advert. Because
Saying
they
that though,
know-
I go to therapy.
Just for the pussy.
How much is it?
50?
For how long? Do
Hour and a bit.
you get a massage
they-
as well? How does it work?
No happy
You just
endings.
talk?
Just talk, yeah. Just
I
What do you
went.
talk
I wanna
about?
talk about
Yeah, why don't
my
you make it into a
problems and
podcast?
my destructive behaviors.
What destructive behaviors?
Just how I can't get anything done.
You've got ADHD.
You need advice.
Nico.
So
Don't need therapy, you
the
need
person.
cocaine.
She's the person that tells me go and get checked for ADHD. Because she said everything you're describing sounds like classic.
These all
ADHD.
point to
Right.
ADHD.
So
Yeah, I've got ADHD too.
I've got ADHD. I probably need therapy as well, but I'm not going to that. I couldn't think of anything more annoying and toe curling than having to talk to someone about your problems.
Oh man,
No thanks.
if we could film it, and then
Yeah,
film your therapist shooting themselves in the car park.
Well,
That'd be,
I went to therapy.
who's that
one
does a
time.
joke like that?
what?
Was it Rodney Dangerfield? That he hired a self-help coach. You heard the gunshot in the car park. Hey, that guy was a killer, man.
Yeah,
That guy was an absolute monster of a comedian.
Yeah.
Jesus,
And-
relentless.
And all these lines, and you see him on chat shows and stuff, and man, he's just got he's memorized so many lines, but he's funny, like just
as hell.
naturally
He
funny
almost
as well.
did become a comedian. He used to sell aluminium for the side of housing.
Right, I can imagine.
And he did that for years. He had just like reams and reams of paper just of material.
Yeah.
He was very prolific.
Yeah.
He said he get in the cab and he said, hey, show me a good time. He took him to his wife's house. I can't get no respect.
Do you remember the cartoon Rover Dangerfield? Was it Rover Dangerfield? He was the voice of that.
Mooch?
Right.
I'm your age. I'm younger.
I never heard of Rover Dangerfield in my life. I played
He was
Dangerfield
in The Simpsons
New
as
York.
well.
Was
I
it?
played Dangerfield.
The club, is it still there?
It's terrible.
Man.
No, it's gone.
But
Alright.
when I played it, it was like it's the club from Joker. It's the same club. They used
Right.
it in Joker, and they hadn't updated the.
What
decor or
Joker?
anything.
The film that was with
Yeah.
what's his face? Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
that's a great movie.
And that's where it's filmed, and they hadn't updated anything since like the 50s, so it had some charm to it, but then it had not been updated since the 50s, and they had the same guy there who had been there since the 50s welcoming everyone in, and he'd just given up by the time. I'd say, he's like, I can't sustain your fits.
So that's where he's putting on the makeup.
What?
Yeah, just
In
you
the
know when he's
Joker.
at the when he's at the comedy
yeah.
club
When
and
he
has
does
the breakdown,
comedy.
That,
Oh, the one, he does a okay.
that was
Yeah.
filmed at Dangerfield.
So what is it now?
It closed during the pandemic, but I think it may have reopened up. But it's kind of universally known as just like the worst. It was great, and then it became shit. They do a lot of prom
Right.
comedy there. It's just
What's
not-
prom comedy?
So basically, prom nights they'll get a load of kids in, do some comedy for kids who don't want to
Right.
watch comedy,
Right.
and it's just notoriously just terrible gigs.
Yeah. Yeah, comedy clubs in America, they sound like the whole setup, it just goes on and on, no breaks.
You know the guy who directed the Joker.
Yeah.
He has a degree in economics.
It's a very interesting fact. Nico, thanks for sharing that.
Have you been just reading like?
No, but he's not a trained director or has no like stuff in film or lighting and anything like that.
Right.
He said he just got into it and he uses just his intuition. So I
Right.
thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So he's not trained or schooled in it.
Yeah. But I guess we're not trained in comedy. You sort of tell sometimes.
Also, I think Todd Phillips was born in New York. He
you're
attended
checking it.
New York. He
did
attended
economics
New
or
York
something?
University Film School. Sounds like he did.
Did
go
he?
to film school. Yeah.
Was this?
That's not what he said in
You
this
just
interview.
tried to Gregory, fucking what's it called? Darius. Gregory Putin, whatever. Pushkin, that was it.
Good
Now, is there
times in
anything about
Moscow.
economics there?
Exciting times in Moscow.
Exciting hands.
Does he say anything about economics degree?
It does not say anything about economics degree.
So
It
he was-
says,
You know who went to film school?
Who?
Me.
Okay.
I did the lighting for this. I learned. I didn't learn. I learned a lot about diegetic and non-diegetic sound, but I learned a lot of theory and didn't do enough practical stuff. But then when I left, I went to live in Vancouver because they make loads of films there because it's like their tax breaks or something, and it looks like so many American cities. But then I never ended up working in film. I worked in tech.
what
Now,
does
that was
diegetic
20
sound
years ago, 25 years ago or something, when like tech was working on, you know what I mean, big mainframes with the tape going reel to reel. It wasn't really, but
When cameras run on gunpowder.
yeah.
What does diegetic sound, Leo? What does that mean?
It's something about if the audience can hear it, but people in the film can't.
Give me an example.
I can't remember, but so if there's a voiceover or something, then the audience can hear it, but the people in the film can't. I think that's what it is. I mean, I could Google it. You could Google it. You've obviously got
Google it.
Wikipedia
You
open.
just Googled me and shamed me.
Diegetic
I guess it's
sound.
not Todd Phillips then.
Todd
of
Phillips
sound
did some
in the
other good
film
films. Did he do
occurring
comedies?
within the context of the story and able to be heard by the characters.
Yeah.
So completely wrong what you said, but
No, diegetic and non-diegetic. That's the difference.
yeah, I asked you what diegetic meant, not non-diegetic.
So that's the differentiator.
Darius is on a rampage today.
That's the different. Why do you say some, Darius, and we'll fact check it? You
yeah,
fucking
you can't
snopes,
fact check
fucking
it as fast
prick.
as me because I'm on a laptop. Well, listen, I
Oh,
think
because you're on a
haven't
laptop
spoke-
in Edinburgh, man. We can see
Hold-
how fast your internet is. Bet we can
Chiswick?
get a result
I
from.
thought we said we weren't mentioning families. Chiswick.
All right.
Rich,
Actually, Chelmsford. I live in Chelmsford now.
on the
But
worst
I'm in
of
Vauxhall.
all the lines, the Metropolitan line.
What's that paywall site thing for the Times articles? What's the-
12ft.io. You know what though? I think we've kind of glossed over a little bit of how serious
Trudeau.
the situation is with Trudeau. Man, that
Yeah.
guy is just full on escalated.
We
He's
should stop-
invoked emergency.
We should stop
matters.
arguing about whether Todd Phillips studied economics. Dealing with a slightly more pressing issue.
I think
But
it might be another director. I got to look it up.
I've been reading about Trudeau and Canada, and there's like a substantial people supporting these
A
actions.
substantial people.
A substantial amount of people for Canadians
Supporting Trudeau.
supporting what he's done, and it's like,
Yeah.
are you yeah, it's happening to them, but this could easily happen to you. And this
This
was
is-
this was the hypocrisy of this is galling because look, I supported Black Lives Matter, right? I thought it was a justified protest, but no one can deny that it was a violent protest. There was death. They stood there doing the news, going, "Oh look, this is a mostly peaceful protest." There's literally buildings on fire behind
Yeah.
them, and then they cut to the hateful race-filled protest with kids on a bouncy castle, and the guys invoked emergency measures, and everyone's like, "Oh, they deserve it." I saw a video of like the supporters of Trudeau, and they were walking through Ottawa, and it was so the disparity between them and the freedom convoy was so startling because they were walking through going, "Fuck you, leave our town," like "Fuck you, get out," like really hate filled, but they're the goodies. And then you cut to these other ones and they were like dancing, celebrating in the streets, or peace and love, going out of their way to be as peaceful and friendly as possible. And Trudeau won't even sit down just to talk, to listen to their requests, which are like, let us have autonomy over our own bodies. And the way that Trudeau's acting, he's being called out by El Salvadorian politicians. Like when you're being called out by third world politicians,
Yeah, when dictators are being like, "Whoa, Justin, just do it a little bit."
Well, the
How
guy
can
from
he-
El Salvador is he's adopted Bitcoin as a currency in the country.
Right, yeah.
So I think that may be one of the reasons why he's quite vocal
right.
about freezing Bitcoin
Yeah.
or
how-
cryptos.
But how can Trudeau how can the West lecture anyone else in the world about democracy and human rights when we're seeing right now, like really by all rights, America should go and invade Canada to spread the real democracy? That would be funny. So it's just it's nuts.
Canada's got oil as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But
But
they would try
man,
and
you-
invade, but they can't get over the bridge.
Because the truckers. But yeah, no, you're totally right. I mean, apart from America invading Canada, because I don't think America's any more free right now. But it's
Because
nuts.
in Democratic Republic of Congo.
Fascism has never in human history has fascism been stopped internally. It's always taken another country to come in and stop it, like we did in the Second World War. But this is, man, in the Economist this week, there a thing about democracy. So democracy is actually retreating around the world for the second year running, after years of sort of increasing. How much of what percentage of the world's population would you think lives under democracy?
I never believe.
Well, a third of it doesn't because it's China. So,
Yeah.
So it's probably like a fifth.
Anybody else?
I believe democracy has always been an illusion.
But just answer this question. What
was never there.
percentage? What percentage of the world population do you think lives under democracy?
There was
Give
never
us some,
true
give us some choices. Is it A? Is it B? Or is it C?
Is it A?
20.
6.4%, B 24.3%, or C 58%.
It's A because it's
It's
the one
A.
that you didn't have to think about
Ah,
saying.
you fucking Yeah,
But
it's
it would always be the lowest.
6.4%.
Yeah, the
It's
most
6.4.
staggering.
I thought it'd be like, like half or something, 60%. But like 6.4%. The rest of the world, we think democracy is like the main thing. It's totally fucking not. Most of the world is like living under the cosh of these sort of barbarous dictators. You got no freedom. You can't speak against the government. You got no freedom to like, do whatever you want. Different countries exercise in different ways. So you can't be gay or you can't be a Hindu or a Muslim or whatever. Like there's all these different ways. It's fucking.
But here in the
people are
West,
oppressed.
your vote means nothing.
No, it doesn't. It means
you can't overthrow anything or have
But the-
meaningful change quickly.
But the fact that one party, if they fuck up too much, will get replaced with another party.
and then that party continues
No,
doing
we're
the
not-
same thing.
Come on,
It's
they're
like,
not.
We thought Labour would be the opposite of what the Tories were doing.
It's not gonna be the opposite.
But they're calling for more restrictions and shit.
Reverse gravity and stuff. No, it's not going to be the opposite.
No, they were caught. No, we thought one would be like at least anti-lockdown and anti-mandate, but they were pushing for the same
true.
thing.
That's true.
And
but
the same
I mean,
thing kind of happens in America now.
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
lot of
that's-
people are realizing it's two sides of the same coin, and they're both controlled by corporate interests.
Yeah, but I mean that's true. But if one of the parties does start, like if they start brutalizing people or whatever, we've got the democratic process to get them out.
Yeah, but whatever. They still govern. We're living in what they call a corporatocracy.
Yeah.
It's the elite corporations running everything. So
Yeah.
regardless of who's in
World
power,
World Economic Forum.
exactly, those guys still gonna run shit. So it doesn't matter who you vote for. These mandates and still whatever was still coming.
Darius went on a mandate with a man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad that serious.
But
chat was interrupted by-
here's the thing though. When you speak about Trudeau and these people who are supporting it, what they do not realize, and this is something that guy spoke about. That guy Naval, he's great. I like his stuff. Naval. Naval Ravikant, I believe his name is. So he's like one of these. He's like a entrepreneur.
Oh, was he talking to the BBC? I got sent a video.
And he's a very smart
tennis
guy.
player.
But he said, in cases like this, you should never champion any procedure or anything like that where you wouldn't want. No, it's not him. Right. You wouldn't want the opposition to have that power.
Exactly. Like,
and this, right. So this is what these people don't realize.
Yeah.
That these powers, if you give them to Trudeau, the next government that comes in, who could be opposite of him, could use the same thing against you.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
So never champion anything that could be flipped and used against you and you don't like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a history of this happening. So in the Netherlands in the 20s and 30s, they conducted a census to find out. It was so the government could tailor public services better to the citizens, so they'd know where all the different demographics were, how old people were, what religion they were, and all the rest of it. But it meant that when the Nazis took power, when they went into the Netherlands, they had this information that told them exactly the addresses of all the Jews, the gays, the gypsies, whoever they wanted to eliminate. Yeah. They had all that info. So that meant the genocide in the Netherlands was so much more efficient and brutal and fast. I think it was 75% were wiped out instead of a lesser proportion in other countries.
And let's see who would have been. Hang on. If Trump,
wait, one line,
hang on,
please. It's a joke. Oh, I've ruined it now.
Oh, go on, do your joke, Darius.
Well,
do your funny joke about the genocide in the Netherlands. You think you're Jimmy Carr?
But no one talks about the positives. That's all I want to say.
So, who would have been anti-vax? Who would have been anti-vax if Trump was still in power and he was the one pushing the vaccine mandates? A lot of these people who are pro-vax now would have been like, it's Trump. Because remember Kamala was saying, I ain't taking no vaccine that Trump is involved with. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you don't...
It's such a partisan issue. Yeah. And especially with coronavirus, when it is something that, man, at this stage in the pandemic, it's kind of done. You know what I mean? I don't want to be accused of spreading medical disinformation or whatever, but
misinformation.
Misinformation is it's kind of done. Like Omicron is not as bad as Delta.
I did 2 gigs last weekend, and there was 2 people out of about 400 people wearing masks over both gigs. So, so I said to them, listen, I just want to say on behalf of everyone in here, thank you for protecting us and not thinking of it. I was like, take them off. No one gives a shit. Look around. You're not saving anyone.
Was that Reading?
It was in Hereford where I turned up on time.
Right.
Well, look, look. If someone wants to wear a mask, let them wear a mask.
Yeah.
I have no problem with people wearing a mask. I have no problem with people not wearing a mask. If you want to get the vaccine, get the vaccine.
Pick a side, Mooch. Pick a side. Which side are you on? This is no time to be neutral.
Fuck.
This is no time to be neutral.
I'm on Trudeau's side.
The chips are down.
But yeah, bringing in the military, man, invoking emergency powers for what, you know, like we're saying, like we can see, man. If there's any footage of them like committing violence or smashing things up or whatever, we'd see it, man. That'd be the number one thing on the mainstream news. But there isn't. They're just peaceful.
And here's the thing. This is what has made me. I used to be against the Second Amendment, but I understand it now.
The gun, is that the gun
the
one?
gun laws.
Because guns are cool.
I totally understand it now.
Would you get a gun if you were in America?
If I was in America, 100%. I would
get a gun here.
I would have all the.
Quite easy to get a gun.
What gun?
Not legally, though.
Yeah, very legally. They come round to your house. They do a check. You get. Ask him. He knows. His
My dad's a
gunsmith.
gunsmith.
That's
I used
for
to have a
hunting and
shotgun
shit,
license.
though.
Well, you can use it for whatever.
Yeah, you can.
don't
you can once you get it, you can then like just cross out the bit where it says hunting ducks or deer or whatever, and you just put people.
Just.
And then you can run around London.
But in England, you can only get rubbish like shotguns. How do I get like an AK?
It's pretty decent.
Man, if I
shotgun
put a
is-
shotgun on your face, and pulled the
I'd argue a shotgun's probably better.
Have you got one, Mooch?
I applied. I was trying to get one.
Are you
during
gonna
lockdown.
get a gun?
Yeah, I was going to get one during lockdown, but then I got loads of mushrooms instead. I thought they probably. Oh, also the police weren't doing the house visits.
It's probably just as well you didn't get both at the same time.
I got a drone, mushrooms, and I was trying to get a shotgun, and I was going to have a whale of a summer.
Are you Joe Rogan? I mean, that is.
I don't think Joe Rogan has a shotgun and a drone.
I don't think you would get it that easy, Mooch.
It's super easy.
I don't think you would.
They
get
come round to your house as long as you're not a crazy and have no criminal record.
Yeah.
You basically get it. You go.
Where'd you
I
buy the
mean,
guns from?
Gun dealer.
gun shops.
Yeah, well, where the gun shop? I never seen a gun shop in England.
Yeah,
There's-
there's websites.
London, they've got gun shops.
Yeah.
Shotguns are
And-
shit anyway. I play Call of Duty. They're like 20%.
Man, it's not Call of Duty. Isn't an accurate representation of a shotgun. It's
I
a
don't
fucking
think
computer
Mooch,
game.
go through with the process. I don't think you would get it that easy as you were saying.
All right, cool. I'll apply to get one, and I'll bring one in and wave it around.
What happened?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get a P90.
Because of COVID, they weren't doing home visits.
Oh, right.
So I couldn't get that to that point of the thing.
Because you do have to
I come
prove
in-
that you got a secure place to keep
Yeah,
it and everything.
you have to have like a gun cabinet or gun lockups in your house, and it has to be and basically make sure that you're not mental.
Yeah.
And what's the gun actually meant for? Just for hunting or something?
Well, you can just say I'm just doing clay pigeon shooting.
Well, who was a clay? That's why I want a P90 Mooch with a suppressor.
A P90.
Yeah,
You get a
with suppressor.
P45.
Actually, I won't because I'm my own boss. So I can't fire myself.
It's not what your wife says.
I've tried many times. I had
Have you ever
someone else
fired
say-
a machine gun, like an automatic weapon?
No, I've only fired like rifles and a shotgun.
A pistol? Have you fired a pistol?
No, only rifle
I've-
and a shotgun.
I've
Yeah.
fired loads of guns.
Yeah, in Thailand, we went to one of these gun ranges and just fired all sorts of weapons at children. No,
Yeah, because you can fire rocket launchers and stuff.
No,
It's
they didn't
quite
offer that.
expensive.
They didn't offer a rocket launcher. I had an AK and a Magnum.
Fuck, what was it like firing an AK?
Fun. I was sunburnt and it hurt. So
Because it's the recoil.
yes.
And what
Can
was it
I
like
just-
firing a Magnum? Is that a massive?
I
handgun?
didn't actually fire the Magnum. I just posed for a photo with that one.
Right,
So-
right. Darius, have you fired any guns?
I fired multiple guns.
We're not talking about Call of Duty.
No, I fired at my school.
At
we
his
had to-
training camp.
For my school,
It's madrasa.
we had to join the cadets, right? And they gave us the SA-80, which is the same rifle that or the same
yeah.
gun that the army used, right? And then we went
Crap.
on some like whatever you call those away days with the army cadet things. Obviously, I wasn't interested. And they gave us an actual gun to run around with blanks, but a blank can still kill someone.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
we were like on a mission, and I saw, because it was in the actual army, kind of on the army base. I actually saw one of their snipers camoed in the bushes. I saw him move. So I started firing the gun at him. And I got about 5 soldiers jumped on me, and then they took the gun off me. So I said, but I seen him hiding in the bushes. He's moving. But hold on, I just want to bring this one back just before, and then we could talk about other things. Just with Trudeau.
I believe that story's fabricated.
I think we could resolve the Ukraine situation by sending Darius over there. Get gun loaded with blanks, scare the shit out of them.
I can assure you it's not fabricated, and I've also fired guns in gun ranges in America. But let me bring this back to the Trudeau thing, because right now he's Trudeau's invoked emergency laws. Fine, which means if you've even donated $25 or they suspect that you have had anything to do with supporting the convoy, they can just cancel your bank account, all your money gone, right? But he said, I'm not going to send in. At the moment, there's no plan to bring in the army.
But he hinted strongly at it. And he also hinted, he's all like, I can't control the police, but the police will be going in and they will be violent. You know, he basically said that. The only safe way is for you to leave.
Well, this is my point, right? At what point can the state defeat a peaceful protest without turning to violence? Because if they stay there and they don't move, they stay being peaceful, which they are, they're going to have to go rogue and just violently go in on them, which is why you're seeing all these stories put out like, oh, we caught this cache of guns on the Canadian border from these convoy protests. Motherfucker, they got bouncy castles. So soon, I want to know.
It's like being on a space station or a plane. You can't fire a gun in a bouncy castle because you'll pop it.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's right. But I want to know how are the woke and these guys who are saying Trudeau's in the right to do this with the honking is like mental torture, it's terrorism. How are they going to justify the army beating the shit out of children and stuff and killing?
You know the funniest thing I saw? So this was somebody genuinely. I think I don't know if it was CBC or if it was somebody on Twitter. They were saying the honking is neo-Nazi. So the truckers honking their horns is neo-Nazi because honk honk is the same initials as Heil Hitler. I'm not even fucking joking, man. That's just saying all the woke people are like, yes it is, yes it is neo-Nazi. It's like, fuck, no it's fucking not.
What, do woke people not use their horns?
Apparently not, only once.
Just once,
Just then it's Heil.
What if it's 3? Hate Heil Hitler.
Well, I'm surprised they don't click their fingers in their cars.
Ridiculous.
Speaking of police, we've got this article. Julian Bennett, the Met commander, is being sacked for taking shrooms.
Yeah, and I thought it'd be like in the 60s or something, but it was like a year ago.
This guy is so he took LSD and cannabis, not shrooms. Really? Oh no, and also magic mushrooms. Sorry.
Earlier it had mushrooms in it.
Yeah, a senior Metropolitan police officer who wrote the force's anti-drug strategy has been accused of taking cannabis, LSD, and magic mushrooms.
The anti-drug strategy started with you must put on some Pink Floyd.
And give it all to me.
How long ago was it?
Commander Julian Bennett is accused of using the substances while on holiday in France. He faces a sack over the alleged drug use, which occurred between February 2019 and July 21, 2020.
So that's quite a binge. It's like a year and a half.
Hey,
binge.
look, yeah, that was pre-pandemic as well, so he was getting into it.
Yeah, getting ready.
Yeah.
Heard a bit of the Joe Rogan podcast.
I bet he's done DMT as well.
Yeah.
He read Michael Pollan's book.
Well, DMT would be a good. They used to call it the businessman's trip, the businessman's acid, because it only lasts for 15 minutes and then you can go back to work.
You know what he was known as? Bennett was known as, quote, sacker, because he had so many colleagues dismissed from the Met during his time.
Well, he had them dismissed.
Yeah, he got them all because he was one of the bosses. So he got so many of his colleagues sacked.
What for?
Well, I'll read the article now, but I have to put it through the
I'll do my research now.
It doesn't say what he's got sacked for. It's a very short article.
It's in the Daily Mail, who we all know is a reputable source of information.
But a lot of government drug advisors, like David Nutt, he was dismissed. He wasn't a policeman, but he was
Off his nut.
He was the government's drug advisor. And he was dismissed after saying ecstasy wasn't that bad for you compared to other drugs.
Look, if
But
you're
it's
the government drug advisor, I want you to have taken drugs.
Yeah.
Because you can't advise on something you've not bloody had.
Exactly.
It's like, it's...
Although,
No, that's not what he was fired. He was fired for saying that.
I disagree.
That he was saying that.
What,
Ecstasy.
Yeah, but you wouldn't
he was
want the-
fired for his advice.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want the
Yeah.
government child porn advisor to have had experience of child porn. You know what I mean? I think there's
Prince Andrew
drugs
needs a job.
is
Why
different.
not?
Well, no, he's gonna have to if he's gonna have to deal with it.
Drugs
Yeah.
is different.
So I'm not. If he's recreationally using it, no. But you're gonna like. So if you're a police
Yeah.
officer, you're gonna probably see something horrible.
I have a friend who is a YouTube cleaner upper, or like one of them internet cleaner uppers,
what's a cleaner upper?
and they have to go and see a therapist every like 2 weeks or
What, just for the pussy?
to decompress for the shit that they see.
Like the monitor for child
Yeah,
porn and
horrible,
stuff. Yeah.
Horrible shit that's uploaded.
I reckon I could do that because
Yeah.
I visit a lot of the not child porn, but like I visit all those
Yeah.
Mexican cartel shit. I every now and again I'm just like
Best goer.
I just like to remind myself of how good life is.
Yeah.
that I'm not in Mexico.
And that's an interesting job, that internet clearer upper job, because anybody who wants to do that job shouldn't be allowed to do the job. It should only go to people who really don't want to do it.
Yeah, there should be like jury service. Like
Yeah.
you just have you're selected this week to just be exposed to like the most atrocious shit on the internet.
Yeah.
and then you become the government advisor.
And then you see this podcast.
This is a particularly low one. I think. I don't think this is our strongest pod.
It's because Darius is in Edinburgh.
No.
Oh,
Listen,
no.
I,
Are you
I've got
disagreeing?
fast
He's
internet.
saying because you're not here.
This is. Oh yeah, no,
'Cause
it
you're-
is because I'm not there.
you're
You know
sort
what I
of
was gonna say
energy.
though. But you know what it is though,
What is it, though?
Camden.
Tell us what it is, though.
When you could buy magic mushrooms in Camden, they need to just
Yeah.
decriminalize all drugs now. It's just like, look, people. It's
Yeah, the
not
cat is out the
60s.
bag.
Yeah, it's
Literally the
done.
cat.
Let everyone.
The cat is out.
In Portugal, they decriminalized all the drugs, and the like death rates, use, crime, everything associated with drugs went down proportionally to the amount of drugs that were being sold. And what they also found is people who had access to the drugs after they used them once, they never used them again. It's just
Really?
but it's, yeah,
That's
like,
not
they
true,
used them
though.
once.
That's not true.
I just used it once.
Would
and
I
then-
do less cocaine if it was easily available and good quality?
That's not true, Darius.
You probably. I don't know. You probably. No.
It happened in Portugal is a success story, and I think it's Uruguay as well is a success story with decriminalization.
Where is it? Where is
When
it?
I was in Portugal, in Lisbon, there were people doing lines outside on tables.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, what? What's going on?
That's too much. And are you allowed to do that, or are they just like being bold?
I mean,
they
I've
were
seen
doing
that.
it.
I've seen
I
that
don't
in
know.
Shoreditch as
Yeah,
well. To
yeah.
be honest.
But they were like, like they have tables outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
bars
what
and
a table is.
restaurants.
Windy, though.
Right. So they were chopping it up and snorting, yeah.
Hmm.
And because I was there with Andre, and I was asking, dude, they can do that? He's like, yeah, it's kind of like, if you got like personal usage on you, they don't do
They don't give a
anything.
fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I didn't realize Portugal was like. And like, can you get? But are you still getting the drugs
Off a dealer, yeah.
off a deal? So it's not like, because I think it would be better if it was like in America with the cannabis.
Yeah.
You get like proper.
Dispensary, yeah.
You know what's in it. You know how strong it is, and all that kind of stuff. That'd be better.
Yeah, I'd like to have some brand name cocaine.
Yeah, and
Mitch,
like you know
can I
the money's not going. The money's going to the NHS or whatever.
Mooch, can I share my screen so you can see drug use has declined?
Sure.
Yeah, all right, Chrome tab. Actually, not that one. You don't want to see what that is. This one.
Porn
As
advisor.
you can see, Portugal is, after Turkey, Greece, and Romania, has the youngest compared to France, which is way up there. So that's the percentage of people.
That
using
graph looks
any-
like it's going up.
No, those are the countries on the bottom. So Portugal's all the way on the left-hand side.
And
So-
what is it?
Well, it's percentage of people using any drug last year. So what they're saying is that people use it drug use has gone down as it's been available.
Right.
Drug use
That makes
gone
sense.
down. Yeah. So like by letting people use it, it's become go back to you guys now.
But I never trust those studies, because like that'll be done by some people who have a vested interest in the study showing that drug use has gone down, so they get more money and they can roll it out to more countries and all that sort of stuff.
So what can we believe? By who?
Well, not a lot. I used to work in criminal intelligence for the police, and anytime I evaluated a project, it was always a success, because we just cherry pick the data to, adjust the parameters or whatever to make it look like a success, because you can't have a failure.
Exactly. And that's why I was telling you guys about the polls and shit. But anyhow, there's that quote, there's lies, lies, and statistics. Yeah,
and comedy reviews.
Comedy, man, what is the point of comedy reviewers? Have you ever had a bad review?
No, not really.
Have you had a bad review, Darius?
Yeah, I've had loads. To this day, the first ever review I got was from Chortle, and I was in the Hackney Empire New Act of the Year, and I came third, and it was my first ever review. I was super happy. I was like, "This is it."
Joint third.
Joint third. Yeah. and I thought I was gonna get like this glowing, and I smashed the gig, by the way, right? And it's in the Barbican. There's about 800 tickets sold, or whatever the capacity for the Barbican is. I'll check. So I was like, this is going to be a great review. Came third, and the review said, it's a 2,000 capacity. I don't think they sold that many seats, but it was sold out. It's busy, right? Anyways, it was a great show. I was reading total review. I thought, this is it, baby. This is gonna propel me to the stardom that I deserve, even more so than my King Gong victory. And
yeah, remember when you start comedy, you think you do King Kong, you're like, I mean, it's the final. This is it. I'm getting mad. Nah, you got another 8 years of eating turds and sucking dick.
King Kong, baby, this is the one, man.
What, he ate turds?
You suck dick in comedy to get where you're at?
Yeah, metaphorical dick. But I suck the real dick for fun.
Yeah,
imagine if Leo sucked dick to get where he's at.
Which Trump's dick did he suck?
Yeah, did better than you.
I'm the Biggleswade bomber. Remember that.
That
Put
should
some
be
respect on my name.
That should be the name of a terrorist. You know what I mean? The Biggleswade bomber. Well, I've got to go to Ireland next week, and my natural immunity passport runs out the day that I'm due to fly back. So I fly back on the 24th and it runs out on the 23rd.
Yeah, but flying back will be fine because it's over.
No, because I know what they're like.
No, apparently it's stressful getting back into the UK.
Yeah.
My friend went to Mexico and she said she couldn't get back in. Well, not that she couldn't get back in. It was harder getting into the UK than getting into Mexico.
Yeah.
So they're giving you stress at the UK border.
Right.
Oh, really?
And also, Darius had the problem when he went to Switzerland to do some gigs.
Did he go to Switzerland? I don't remember that.
No, but he went to Switzerland and they wouldn't let him on the plane.
Is that when you were proud about forging something? You were like, I'm not paying and we were all talking about on the pod. We go, I'm not paying £20 to get a test. And then
That's
you
a really
lost
good
thousands of pounds worth of gigs because you were just...
No, that wasn't because of that. I wasn't allowed in for...
dozens of pounds worth of gigs. I think it was.
Yeah, they're making it very difficult to travel right now.
Yeah.
Zing, this is the most energetic laugh a minute podcast I think we've ever done.
So that's the thing. Even though it's like the day after I'm gonna pay for a PCR test on the way there and a test on the way back or whatever the fuck you need. It's like that. And the thing is, like, finding out what you actually need is a nightmare. I don't know. I just think they need to scrapple. It's like coronavirus is over. It's done. It's like now the government with all these tests and stuff, they're like a Japanese soldier who's still in the jungle thinking the war is going on 20 years later, still fighting the war. It's like it's done. Coronavirus is like, we've had Omicron, it like finished it. There might be a new one coming, but we'll deal with that then. Yeah. If there's a new strand that kills loads of people,
that would be
finishes the job
working
it
on
started.
that now. Fauci's working on that. Right?
He's funding it.
Yeah.
What's the LGBTQ thing, Leo?
So basically, let me just open it. So nearly 40% of US Gen Zs, I don't know how old that is, identify as LGBTQ. According to a poll, and amongst Christians, numbers are only slightly lower, like 30%. So Christianity, I'm not sure what the figures are for other religions.
Diminishing, I imagine. It's at 20%, 19, 18.
-5. So yeah, basically, I mean, you can't read the article because so many fucking pop-ups. Jesus Christ. But yeah, this is so. The portion of population that describes itself as gay has varied over the years. So less than 6%, and now it's 40%. But they're LGBT. But they're doing that thing because I've seen comedians do this. Like they say, "Oh, I'm queer, but I've never had any sort of same-sex like shenanigans."
Yeah,
But
I mean, look, we all
identify
want
as
to be on the
queer.
BBC.
Yeah, well, we all want some sort of victim points. But it's I got no respect. Like, if you're calling yourself queer and you never sucked a dick, or like if you're a woman you've never liked a fan,
What if
like,
you've,
you
like-
got no right.
You watch a bit of gay porn. That counts.
No, it only counts.
Probably.
You've got to masturbate to completion, and how many times before it counts?
You've watched gay porn?
Huh?
You've seen gay porn?
Only in passing. Trying to find. I was like, what's this? No, I'm looking for the straight
It was a
porn.
trans surprise.
You were walking by the laptop. Hang on.
You went out with a trans lady.
What's happening here?
Yeah, that's not gay.
Only
Yeah, yeah.
passing. Oh shit. That's
But
So yeah.
something.
What about meatspin.com?
That was
I think
hilarious.
we
What's
can
meat?
sit
Is that with the
through-
dick spinning round?
Yeah, yeah.
And there
If
was
you
a
sit
remember
through-
lemon party.
Lemon party was the best.
What's
I
lemon
remember
party?
there's a party at the warehouse. At the warehouse, we had a party, like big dinner and stuff, and there's loads of people. And they had a projector that was showing some sort of art thing. And so I put the projector on. It was either lemon party or fucking. I think it was jar squatter. And so I just
Whoa,
a jar
wow,
squatter
that's
and a look.
crazy.
Did you
One
ever see
man,
jar squatter?
one man, one cup is what it's called, or one man, one jar.
Yeah.
And it's I've
Was this many man crushed the jar in his butt?
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's horrible. Because also,
what in the butt?
he's like he's squatted down, so this jam jar goes up his arse, and then like it pops, and you're like,
And then he pulls it out. Yeah,
But the
man,
thing
he's
is,
fishing. He's fishing for the.
He's so calm.
Yeah, he's so calm. He's fishing for the bits, and he's cutting his finger. And there's blood.
There's
coming.
blood.
But
and
then when he-
deep dark blood.
so he's got all this broken up fucking glass in his eye, and he stands up just like fucking why?
And you hear like crunching still.
Yeah, and it's like you would stand up so gingerly. I'd be walking around like a crab. You know what I mean?
Let's
Like,
be
there's
honest,
no fucking way.
This is not the first time that has happened to that man.
No, there's no way he's doing that deliberately. Is he doing it deliberately?
Mate, it's the internet.
Is he doing it deliberately?
And did you come?
Filled the next jar. Filled the next jar.
What's lemon party?
It was another one like old guys
Just sucking
doing
each other
something.
off.
Yeah, and it played a song. It was
yeah.
like, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never take a pretty girl for your wife.
Well, and
What
it
about-
was just one clip.
yeah, just on a
Of
loop.
old-
It was early
old guys?
internet. Yeah,
Old
old
guys
guys
fucking
like,
each other?
yeah.
I
Do
never
you,
seen
you all
that.
know the tale of Mr. Hands?
What's Mr. Hands?
Mr. Hands, the Seattle man who had sex with a horse and then died. And
Oh,
filmed it.
yeah, I know that story. So I know quite a lot about this story. So he worked in aerospace, and he worked in aerospace, and because of that, he didn't want, because they do like when I worked in aerospace, they do like security
You
checks.
work in everything, man. You work.
Well, it was the same thing, like
Criminal intelligence.
BAE systems, so they've got an intelligence unit. But like, I don't know if we can show jar squatter on this.
Don't pull that up.
I
man.
don't think we can show.
I don't wanna
Stop
see
it!
that.
Stop it
I
now,
don't
because
wanna
it's gonna
see that
get.
much.
It's gonna get.
It's
they're gonna get it taken.
it's
No,
a
stop it.
parody. It's not the same.
Parody. God,
Yeah, but it's gonna show the guy's dick or something,
It's
isn't
not.
it?
It's on YouTube.
Stop that.
Look how
Oh, yeah, but
look
we're
how
gonna-
terrified these guys were.
Nobody want to see that.
I
Anyway,
wasn't
this-
scared. I was scared that we'd get a copyright strike like the water-powered car. You
Me
know
and
what?
Leo was scared. Me and Leo were
Jam jar
scared
power.
we would get erections.
You know what was what hurt me the most about last week's pod is that you.
I thought you were gonna say hurt you the most about putting a jar up your bum.
I've never put anything up my ass.
An Iranian vase.
That's so unconvincing. That's so unconvincing.
And his eyes flickered to the left. His eyes went up to the left.
Listen, I
You know
want
when
to
your eyes go up to the left.
I would like to state
Triple
for the
therapy
record-
session coming up.
I want to state for the record that I have.
Right, the nozzle of an AK-47 was never up my bum.
Unacceptable.
I've never stuck anything up my anus. You're talking about fast food.
This is the
talking about
colonic
Mr.
Gordon.
Hands.
This is the colonic man. The man who loves the colonic. The man who spends all his money on colonics. I have never spent anything.
I paid to go.
Going through Groupon looking for that magic deal.
Oh yeah, looking for that hot, warm water up his butt.
I've got a new thing that I'm doing. If you want to know, I bought a derma pen and I'm
And I stuck
needling
it up my
face.
fucking butt.
Is that the pin? Is it lots of little pins?
Yeah, derma
Are you-
pen. So you use it on your skin and it rejuvenates your skin. So this
Right.
time, 2 weeks, my skin's gonna be glowing like I've had
That's
a
great.
colonic, but I haven't.
That's great.
So I get
you
all the benefits of the colonic without having to stick anything up my ass.
We didn't finish talking about Mr. Hands, the guy who
Yeah, tell
got
us.
shagged by a horse. There's a guy like he had sex with a horse quite regularly. There's actually, I think there's footage of it. There's footage of him. There's
it up,
footage of him.
or-
No, don't put it up. But this guy, he worked in aerospace, so basically had sex with his horse. And man, so his mate like lines up the horse's dick with his ass. And the horse like goes, and like, man, this fucking dick's like that. It's like half the size of mine. Like, it's mental.
Hey-o.
It's like, and this thing just goes fucking whoomp. Like, and the guy's like, is it in? It's like, is it in? Fucking hell. It's in his fucking lungs. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. And like, and then it comes out, and the guy's just like, brutal. Absolutely.
What,
fucking
the
brutal.
horse is thrusting?
Oh, the horse is fucking thrusting, man. The horse is fucking having a great time. And then, but the guy.
We should definitely apply for that job that your mate has.
So the guy obviously had like internal injuries and stuff, but he didn't want to be taken to hospital because they it would come up in his job, like they do checks, background checks, and all that sort of stuff. So he didn't go, but then septicemia set in, so then his friends just dropped him off at the hospital, but he died.
He died because of
Internal.
the shagging of the
He
horse.
died because the horse shagging him.
How long ago was this?
Must be like 12 years, something like that.
It's 2005, and they've made a documentary about it now.
So this was his first time shagging the horse?
No, I think he did previous because he was on another documentary called, I think it was called Zoo, and I think it was the same guy, and he like there's a bunch of them who like.
So how come the injuries didn't happen the first time he shagged the horse?
Well, because the horse, like this one, he really went for it.
Yeah.
So this horse went proper. He's like,
So the horse should really
But
be.
yeah, you've got to
he
take
took out
care.
revenge.
You got to take care.
Can I just say, I just want to point out, I like Nico's optimism. Like, was this the first time he had sex with a horse? I don't think you just start at a horse. You got to work your way up to horse, Nico. Horse is like the top boss, end-level boss of animal sex. You know, you might start with,
I don't know. I think
know, if I were
elephant.
to do it, I'd do a dog.
Wait, so you
that's-
reckon he shag other
That's
animals?
gay, done worse than I wanted to.
Huh?
No, I'm saying
You reckon he shag other animals?
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Probably.
Oh, there we go. Is that the horse?
Yeah, that's the exact horse.
It doesn't look like a real horse.
Yeah, that looks like a
it's
fake
a statue.
horse.
Oh, right.
It's a statue.
Yeah.
They made a
wondering why it
statue of him, of the horse. Imagine they made a statue of him. Who killed the man?
And you can go and commit suicide by like jumping on.
Just reversing in.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Not the blue horse in Denver Airport, the most scary of all the horses.
Have you seen Kanye and Pete Davidson?
Yeah, what's happening with that? I saw Kanye delivered a truckload of roses. They're fighting over Kim Kardashian. So Kanye's trying to get her back.
Kanye is trying to win his love back, and Pete Davidson is trying to increase the peace. Kanye is going mad on Instagram and Twitter, posting some wild shit, posting up screen grabs of text messages and stuff. In a fairly, it's absolutely mental.
But you know, the most annoying thing about the whole of this is the screen grabs he's doing are of the messages, but he's kind of just put them a little bit off center, so you can't read the whole message. It's so annoying. It's like you've given us enough to kind of show that you're a psycho, but you've made us just so annoying that we can't read it easily. It's a bit OCD, really.
No. It is annoying, and it's all these cryptic sort of like clues with it all. It's fucked up, man. It's funny though. He asked Michael Che. he'd paid Michael Che to come over, and Michael Che did some funny shit with it. I'm
He
trying to find it.
paid Michael Che to come over.
He offered Michael Che triple what they're paying him at SNL to come over or something like that. And Michael Che did a funny little skit about
To
it.
come over and do what?
Just onto his side or something like that.
Nice.
I wish I'd researched this more.
Yeah. Well, I did
How
a
long
lot of
have we-
research on a guy getting shagged to death by a horse.
You know what though? We've got stuff to promote this week, haven't we?
Right, well,
March
let's-
20th. March 20th. Leo and I are doing our solo shows at Top Secret, and they're
Yeah.
being recorded for Next Up, so they're going to
Yeah.
be for posterity. I think the tickets are
What
free.
is Next Up? How much money do we get from Next Up?
Well, listen, obviously we're
I
not
wanted to
getting
do
any
it for
money.
Netflix.
Well, yeah, but you can still do it for Netflix. But
All
this
right,
will give
cool.
you an HD 4K cut, directed, edited, proper video. So we're going to be
Okay.
doing it for Next Up. So if you enjoy the show, come, or if you like me or Leo, come, and they give you free drinks and pizza and stuff. So
Y'all
March
getting
20th.
paid for this?
Yeah, well, we get.
I think we get money from the thing.
Yeah, how many people watch it or
How
something?
many people watch it? So Darius isn't getting any money, but I'll get quite a lot of money.
So no.
I am up north, April 5th, 6th, and 7th. Newcastle, Glasgow, Edinburgh. Come see me. My new show, Coyote. Critically acclaimed.
It's just him sleeping in a deck chair for an hour.
Nah, come watch it. It's a great show. Bristol loved it. So yeah, come through. Tickets on the stand. It's at the stand.
Yeah. I'm going to Ireland. I'm going to be at the Laughter Lounge in April the 1st and 2nd. Oh, shit, I'm going to have to get the PCR test bullshit for that as well.
Anything to
and-
promote, Mooch?
Just catch me down here at Vauxhall Comedy Club. Big ups to the guys. We had some fans of the Three Speech podcast on Sunday. A gentleman said hello, and he was with a very attractive lady. Sorry I didn't chat to you. I was a bit busy and I had to clear up. But yeah, just catch me down at Vauxhall Comedy Club.
And finally, before we set you free, please, dear listeners, if you enjoy this podcast, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. We want to get more listeners. We want to basically have so much power. We become the Joe Rogan and we can do whatever we want. And I can get revenge against Corey Shaw. And
And
Nico
we can buy
afford to make his appointment.
flamethrowers.
Don't tell him
Yeah.
to listen to this pod. Last week's was good. Get him to listen to last week's pod. It was much
This
better
has
than
been
this
a
pod.
good... I'll tell you one thing before we go. I've listened to our pods. The ones that we thought are shit are actually good.
Yeah, you
Well,
know
this was
what?
going to be really good.
Yeah, this is good.
But we always walk out thinking that one was shit, and then it's
Yeah.
like good.
Well, yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but I felt this was a bit off today. But so I'm sorry.
Well, you know
listeners.
what?
It's
you
because
know what would
Darius is
help?
not in the studio.
Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
would help if Vittorio edited it.
What edited you so you're in the studio? I think
No,
you
edited
need
it,
to.
so we took the silences out. where
You
we
and
just
Elsa
sit
need
there
to move
gormlessly.
to. Sorry, you and nameless family member need to move back to some south of England.
We made a declaration because Leo was getting death threats after being on.
That was a
on
really smooth sentence.
good,
there, Leo.
Good Morning Britain. Leo got death
Really
threats, so we said we're not going to
smooth
mention
and-
families. And
This
I've
is
yet to mention his
unacceptable,
family.
Leo.
He's mentioned mine about a zillion times.
Sorry,
It's all right. To be fair, I
Darius
showed my
has no
baby on
family.
camera.
man.
Darius-
ISIS would have
Darius
stopped.
was
ISIS would have stopped
adopted.
listening to this podcast a long time ago. They would have made it 15 minutes in and be like, "I'm not listening to this shit."
Darius was adopted like Moses. He
Yeah,
has no family.
in a basket.
In a basket, baby. All right. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Gang, gang.
Take it easy. Have a good week. This has been the
Zip,
Free
zap.
Speech Podcast. Rap, rap, bird set, dapsan.
Yeah.